Piñas Bay, Panama, home to the black marlin, home to some of the most epic fishing on the planet. Over 300 established world IGFA records have been set here. Movie stars, celebrities, some of the best fishermen across the globe have all visited this destination for one reason: the fishing, the history, the captains, the mates. It's a platform known across the globe in the big game fishing world. It's the end of September here in Panama, beginning of the rainy season. The lodge is getting ready to close for a couple of months before they come back and start chasing marlin again. This is about the time that the black marlin really start to show up on the reef. It's also the time that Mother Nature doesn't always cooperate. Many places across the globe, you see the weather coming. You have some type of hint that the weather's going to change tomorrow or the next day or what have you. This coastline, Panama, you blink. It goes from sunny to stormy. It changes like the wind.
So right now we are on the southern tip of Panama, just 20 miles north of Colombia, on the Pacific side of Panama. Panama is the biggest isthmus in the world. Isthmus connecting obviously two islands or two great points, obviously North America and South America. And if you have a look at the continental shelf and stuff, from northern Colombia and southern Panama, the continental shelf just comes closer and closer and closer to land. And so with the runoff of the Humboldt currents, it's just a naturally good place to come and look for fish. We're in the Darien jungle, and that is one of the most dense jungles on the planet. So it's pretty freaking awesome. We're 100 miles away from the nearest road. Other than that, there's nothing else here, really. There's a couple little villages. We've got Playa Muerto 20 miles to our north. That's about 90 people live there. And then obviously our home village here is Piñas, and pineapple. And so it's Puerto Piña, which is Bay of Pineapples, and that village is a little bit bigger. That's about 1,800 people. And so there you'll have everything from schools to churches to shops, and they're obviously most famous for being the village associated with Tropic Star Lodge.
This town here in Piñas Bay, the women teach their daughters all the tradition of farming, the dances, the unique tattoos, what they stand for, their heritage. It's not infected by the internet. These people are still passing on traditions and generational things that come from hundreds of years ago. It comes from the landscape. It comes from there not being a road within 150 miles of this place. It comes from the heritage of their tribes. Hunters, farmers. They keep passing these things on because they don't want to see that lost. It's too important. It's who they are. It's who they become. And fortunately, it's who they will be. Every time I'm able to shake hands with a marlin, and what I mean by that is get the leader up and look this fish in the eye. It's different than any other fish. There's something about a marlin. It swims around in this ocean and it's the man. Anything it encounters that's smaller than he is, he can eat. He's faster. He can outrun. A bait fish doesn't get away from a marlin if he doesn't want it to. And peering into the eye of a marlin when you catch one, it's almost like you're looking at this amazing creature that's looking back at you, and you have respect for one another. It's different. It's different than anything you'll ever encounter in fishing. And anyone who's marlin fished knows exactly what I'm talking about. Have this giant sword, this weapon in the front of his face. His giant pec fins, his tail, massive body. More power than 99% of all the other fish that swim. They are a badass fish. There's two ways that you often fish here offshore. One is you catch these live bonitas, you slow troll them live, and that's mainly to target the big marlin. Troll for hours of boredom, for seconds of chaos.
Oh, get it, Rob, that's you. Breathe full, Sam. Oh, awesome. Oh, nice. Get it out of the way. Another one.
You know, there's different ways you marlin fish. You troll lures, you troll baits, you slow troll live baits. Most people marlin fish out of a chair. Once the fish is on, once he's hooked, they get in the fighting chair, they strap themselves in and do combat. And it's a dual effort between the angler and the captain. Keep everything lined up and put as much pressure as you can on that fish. There's nothing like standing up, never getting in the chair, and strapping yourself to the rod, stand-up style. It's pretty much hand-to-hand combat between you and the marlin. Let the best man win.
You know, that's the thing about marlin fishing. It goes from being bored, trolling for hours, to chaos in seconds. There's no other fish that, when it starts leaving the water and jumping, that moves the kind of water these things move, man. It's amazing. Leader. Good job, guys. That's awesome, boys. That's awesome.
You know, you hear in the fishing circles that, oh man, that mate's a great wireman. You know, he's a great leader guy on marlin, and he's this or he's that. That captain knows how to find big dolphin. These captains and mates here are very well-rounded. They're not good at one thing. They're good at everything. They know the tackle, they know the rigs, they know the techniques. They're never happy with what they know. They're always trying new things. always pushing the limits, always testing each other to see who's the best. Being an old school fisherman from the Keys, I always try to hold on to the history. My forefathers taught me a certain way. Here in Piñas Bay, it's to the fullest extent that way. You don't just turn in your resume and become a mate or a captain for Tropic Star. It's an earned position that takes years to fill. You start off at the dock. You're a dock hand. You go get things for the captains and mates. Then you work your way into the tackle shop. If you're really lucky, you become a mate's apprentice. You haven't earned your shirt yet, but you've been around the docks for 4 or 5 years at this point. Then one day you make it to be a mate. That's a job that's not easily earned. And it's not a job that once you've made it, necessarily are you going to keep it. You get tested daily by the captains and the other staff.
Tropic Star Lodge in Piñas Village, it's a symbiotic relationship. We need them and they need us. We work very well together. And the captains are right at the top of that food chain. They are everything in the village. They are the sultans. If you're a little kid and you're growing up in Piñas Village, you want to be a captain.
To become a captain here, you've had to have been a mate for 7, 8, 9, maybe even 10 years before you're even considered the position. And one of the existing captains either has to retire or die, so there's a position to be filled. They're never happy with what they know. They're always trying new things, always pushing the limits, always testing each other. When you show up waving a couple of flags at the end of the day, you walk home with your chest puffed out because you caught more than everybody else at the dock. I don't care who you are, if you're a fisherman, professional fisherman, a captain or a mate, you have pride when you return to the dock every day. You earn everything that you got on this dock. You know, the place is known as a spectacular world-class marlin fishery, but where else can you go and daily have an opportunity of catching a 40 to 70 pound dolphin? Daily. There's nowhere else on the planet. Right here. There you go. You got him now. Oh, look at that jump. Nice one. That thing's huge. You know, historically, dolphin in most places run in big schools. They hang around debris. They're surface feeders for the most part. You troll for them. You look for birds diving, things like that. Here, you kind of happen upon them. Now, you might find a tree that has a dolphin or two on it, but these are all big dolphin. They're all loners or pairs. You don't find big schools. And I don't know if that's because the marlin are here eating the smaller dolphin, that they keep those fish separated, and if they happen to live long enough, they get so big that only the big ones are around for you to catch them. I don't know. I do know this is the biggest bunch of dolphin time and time again that you can run across of any place I've ever been. When he's running, just let him go. That's a giant dolphin.
Yeah.
Way over 50 pounds. Look at him out there. You know, at home when we're dolphin fishing, often you find a school of 100 fish, 50 fish, whatever, but they're all 10 to 20 pounders. These giant dolphin like we've been catching are usually solos, yeah.
And why is that?
I think they're just such predators. You know, they don't want to be dealing with other fish. They're just single giants. Occasionally you'll see a pair. Good. Dolphin don't live long. You know, a 40, 50, 60 pound fish may just be a year old. They're one of the fastest growing fish in the ocean. Pretty cool evolution.
Oh my gosh, what a beautiful color he is. Wow, blue. Nice.
That is a freaking slob.
Yeah, it is. Nice.
That thing's awesome. You leave this bay and you start traveling down the coastline and you start hugging these mountains, these shorelines that literally fall off into the water, these rugged rocks, weathered through time, caves, canyons, undercut ledges, jagged rocks. And the ocean floor underneath you looks just the same. Nasty. And the nastiest fish on the planet lives there, the Cabera snapper. Ferocious, giant teeth, aggressive. You have to use heavy tackle. Anything less, you'll never win the game. You have to get on these fish's ass quick, or you don't have a chance. As soon as the fish eats, give him 1 second to get the bait down, lock it up, and give it everything you got for the first 30 seconds. That's when you win or lose this game, is the first 30 seconds of the battle. If you get him coming your way, you got him. He starts dragging you around, starts pulling drag, you're done. Color.
Oh, look at that fish.
Nice
Beautiful.
Cabera. Now, I'm a 240-pound man. I spend a lot of time in the gym. When that fish wants to move, he's jerking my ass from one end of that boat to another. It's an awesome feeling. Feel that power. One-on-one, you and him. Whoa, look at the colors on that thing.
Nice.
That's awesome. Look at that teeth on that thing.
Wow.
Thank you, buddy.
Be careful.
The teeth on that thing, man. Things that take your finger off. Beautiful colors, too.
Fun day. That would have been the first flag.
You know, the world is a big place, but it's such a common, reoccurring theme that you can pick one of the most remote places on the planet and discover that there's people there from all walks of life that all have the same goal. It's all about, you know, the sport of fishing. To share a week with people that you've never met before, and by day 3 or 4, you almost feel like your family. You're sharing stories, you're sharing family photos, you're showing the big one that your daughter caught last year, and they're showing you the same. It's a unique experience, and it's untainted by the busyness of life today. You show up, in this case, me and Catherine showed up as a couple, but we came away with 14 or 15 new friends, all because we all love to fish in the end. From the minute you land the plane and arrive in Penis Bay, you take the little boat ride and show up at this dock that has all this history. It's special. It's a place that if you want to go back in time but still have the amenities of a 5-star resort and world-class fishing, it's a place you need to visit. Whether you catch a fish or not, you'll come away amazed and wanting to come back. I can't wait till I come back, and I'm gonna. I still got a date with another marlin out there one of these days.